Well, this Mental Health Monday, we're talking about CBD. More people are turning to the non-psychoactive cannabis product to manage everything from insomnia to anxiety. But the FDA doesn't regulate over-the-counter CBD products, so what you see on the label may not be exactly what you're getting. Joining us live to discuss all of this morning is Farmer Steve from Cedar Meadow Farm. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, good morning, John. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yeah, so how did you get into growing CBD on your farm?
Well, it all started about 5 years ago when it became legal to grow. And since then, I've learned how to grow it and working with some research involved in the CBD products that we grow. And it's been quite a learning experience, quite a journey.
And talk about the differences between like CBD and marijuana. It does not have the psychoactive ingredient. Is that fair to say?
Well, simply put, I like to say that CBD can heal, marijuana can make you high. Both do have medicinal qualities. Some say that CBD has the medicinal benefits of marijuana without the high, but both are derived from the same hemp plant. A lot of people don't understand that. It's kind of like the difference between sweet corn and popcorn. Similar, yet distinctly different.
There's no THC. That's the ingredient, right? That makes you high?
Yeah, THC is the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana. To be considered CBD, it has to be less than 0.3% of THC in a CBD product.
Now, talk about the potential benefits. A lot of people use it to kind of as a stress reliever.
Yeah, the top two benefits are better sleep and less anxiety, less stress. It's topics I'm sure you probably covered before on your Mental Health Monday. But also people have found CBD to help reduce inflammation, like in your knuckles and joints and lower back. Potential risks? Well, I'm going to have to refer back to your initial opening there. These are mainly associated with the quality of the CBD that you're buying. There's very little, if any, regulatory oversight of retail CBD sales. I know of 5 cases where some products have tested to have 0 CBD in them. But currently there are no overt health risks associated with CBD, but I would favor some more comprehensive research on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you know if you're getting a good product? I mean, without the FDA being involved.
Well, the key question is that the FDA has failed to produce guidelines for the retail sale of CBD products. As a farmer, I'm legally bound to the many aspects of growing CBD. But once it's in the bottle, there's very little oversight, and that's going to have to be fixed at the FDA. But as a consumer, there are a few things you should know. Was the CBD grown using regenerative agricultural practices? This has become to be one of the most impacting influence on CBD quality, and many people are not aware of that. Number 2 is...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Is it single farm sourced? And I'll say finally, does it have a certificate of analysis?
Okay, there's an interesting question here. Apparently there's a loophole for some producers, and they're making CBD with psychoactive ingredients, creating something called Delta-8. Explain what that is.
So Delta-8 is derived from taking a CBD product, heating it up, and there's a process to do that, adding a few other chemistry components, and then it will actually give you a mild buzz or a mild high. The biggest problem with the Delta-8, though, is the way they're marketing it, because they're getting around the medical marijuana rules, and they're actually selling it that a child could walk into a convenience store and buy this stuff. And there have been some children that actually have taken this not knowing what they were eating or consuming and have ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, that's frightening. Is there a way to know how to avoid that kind of product?
Well, know who your producer is, know who's producing it, and you just have to understand. Some of these advertisements on the packaging are very deceptive, and they're, again, focusing on children, making common brands that look like it's just innocent gummies that you're going to be consuming. And so, understanding what's behind the brand is very important.
And this is one of the reasons, I'm guessing, why you want the FDA to be more involved in regulating this stuff.
Well, yeah, they need to provide some oversight, because right now there's virtually no guidelines, and none of us want a lot more regulations, but there are some things that do need to be regulated. I mean, I could give you a packet of CBD to sell, and you could go out in the street and sell it today. Who knows what it is? So this is why I would favor some rules that would help keep me accountable for what I put in my bottles.
Right, right. So you and your product would have more stature, I imagine, or people would be less or more inclined to buy it because there'd be some FDA regulation over it, I would think. All right, Farmer Steve, thanks for joining us. Great information. Sounds like it's still a bit of the Wild West out there when it comes to CBD.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us. We do talk to experts several times a week here on our 7 a.m. live stream. If you do have a question you want answered, let us know. Just head to abc7.com/ask7.